Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. From the soulful streets of New Orleans came a man whose passion for music touched hearts across the globe. Paul Batiste's life was defined by melody, mentorship, and a mission to uplift others through the power of sound. He passed away on April 25, 2025, at the age of 74 after a brief illness. His absence leaves a silence that echoes deeply in the musical community. Born and raised amid the rich cultural heritage of New Orleans, Paul grew up surrounded by jazz, gospel, and rhythm and blues. That early exposure became the heartbeat of his life's work. After earning a degree in music education from Southern University at New Orleans, he served in the U.S. Army before returning home to write his legacy. For more than 30 years, Paul taught in New Orleans public schools, beginning as a student teacher at McDonough 35. He later led bands across the city, opening doors for countless young musicians. To his students, he was more than a teacher. He was a guide, a role model, and often, the spark that lit their artistic fire. Paul's influence stretched far beyond the classroom. As the founder and leader of the legendary Batiste Brothers Band, he helped bring New Orleans music to the world. A gifted composer, he wrote much of the band's catalog, including hits from albums like Spice and New Orleans Music. One of his proudest moments came when the group became the first New Orleans band to perform at Japan's Kobe Urban Resort Fair, introducing international audiences to the vibrant energy of his hometown. His blend of performance and purpose made him a cornerstone of the cultural fabric of New Orleans. Paul dreamed of founding a private music school, a vision rooted in his belief that music could change lives as it had changed his. Jazz trumpeter and family friend Wynton Marsalis once said, "Paul didn't just play notes, he gave them meaning. He brought tradition forward, while always making space for the next generation." His family, including loving siblings, children, and grandchildren, now carries that legacy forward. The world has lost not only a remarkable musician, but a generous teacher and a lifelong champion of New Orleans culture. Tributes to Paul Batiste. Number 6. Fall back, baby. That signature phrase didn't just describe a jump shot, it captured the fearless confidence of Dick Barnett. With a high-arching release and smooth backward glide, Barnett's one-of-a-kind jumper helped power the New York Knicks to the only 2 championships in the team's history. A cornerstone of the Knicks' golden era, he combined style, skill, and heart on some of basketball's biggest stages. Dick Barnett has passed away at the age of 88. He died peacefully in his sleep at a senior living center in Florida. Though he's no longer with us, his legacy soars higher than ever, woven deep into the fabric of the game he helped shape. Before the bright lights of Madison Square Garden, Barnett was already breaking ground. At Tennessee State, he guided his team to 3 straight national titles, earning All-America honors and tournament MVPs along the way. His brilliance there was only the beginning. In the pros, he made stops in Syracuse and Los Angeles before finding his true home in New York. He joined the Knicks in the mid-60s and never looked back. In 1968, he was named an NBA All-Star. Just 2 years later, he helped New York capture its first-ever title, scoring 21 crucial points in the famed Willis Reed game and locking down Jerry West on defense. His number 12 jersey now hangs above the court at Madison Square Garden. He ranks among the Knicks' all-time greats in points, games, and field goals. But numbers alone don't capture his voice, passion, or persistent drive, qualities displayed both on and off the court. After basketball, Barnett earned a doctorate in education. In doing so, he became Dr. Richard Barnett, a champion not just of sport, but of knowledge and progress. In 2024, he received the sport's highest recognition, induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame. His former team said it best. Dick Barnett embodied everything it meant to be a New York Knick. He left a positive impact on everyone he encountered. Generations of athletes and fans will continue to learn from his story, one of resilience, brilliance, and purpose. Tributes to Dick Barnett. Number 5. It's amazing what you can do when you don't know you can't do it. Those were Ed Pink's own humble words, and they defined a life spent pushing the limits of performance and possibility. Known throughout motorsports as the Old Master, Ed Pink passed away peacefully at the age of 94. His engines helped reshape the landscape of American racing and powered hundreds of victories, each roar of horsepower carrying his legacy farther across drag strips, speedways, and endurance circuits. What began as a teenage fascination in Los Angeles turned into a revolutionary career that spanned more than 7 astonishing decades. He chose pistons over paint cans, stepping away from the family business to sweep floors at an early hot rod shop. Before long, he was crafting raw speed with his own hands. Ed Pink racing engines became a legend in itself. From drag racing to IndyCar to grueling tests like the 24 Hours of Daytona, his creations didn't just compete, they conquered. His engines were trusted by champions, revered for their reliability, and feared for their power. But beyond blueprinting parts and breaking records, Ed was a true mentor. He guided generations of young builders, sharing not only skill, but a code of excellence. Many protégés who passed through his shop went on to shape the racing world in their own right. His accolades were many: entry into the Motorsports Hall of Fame, the Robert E. Peterson Lifetime Achievement Award, and a place in the Engine Builder Hall of Fame. Yet he remained soft-spoken, grounded, always more focused on the machine than the spotlight. Fellow engine builder and longtime friend once said, "Ed built the kind of engines that made your heart skip when they fired up, and he did it with absolute humility." That balance of brilliance and modesty made his workshop a forge of both horsepower and heart. Ed Pink's cause of death was natural and peaceful, a subtle end to a life that roared with impact. As racing engines ring out across the country, their sound carries something more now, a lasting echo of Ed's wisdom, artistry, and undying love for the sport. Tributes to Ed Pink. Number 4. You have undoubtedly been my greatest teacher, wrote Kevin Love in his moving tribute. You taught me admirable qualities like respect and kindness, humor and wit, ambition and work ethic, grit and aggressive will. Stan Love, former NBA forward and father to Miami Heat's Kevin Love, passed away at age 76 after a long battle with health complications. Through all victories and struggles, he remained a towering figure both literally and emotionally in the lives he touched. Born and raised in Los Angeles, Stan's talent for basketball took him from local courts to college stardom at the University of Oregon. There, he averaged over 21 points and 10 rebounds per game, earning top conference honors and catching the eye of NBA scouts. In 1971, he was selected 9th overall in the NBA draft and went on to play for both the Baltimore Bullets and Los Angeles Lakers. His career may have lasted just a few seasons, but it echoed long after, especially for fans and teammates who remembered his intensity on the court. Off the hardwood, Stan lived at the crossroads of sports and music. He was the younger brother of Beach Boys frontman Mike Love and served closely with cousin Brian Wilson during some of the band's most turbulent years. Whether guarding a lead or guarding a loved one, Stan was always ready to support. His greatest legacy may lie in his family. Kevin Love, an NBA champion and mental health advocate, often spoke of his father's powerful influence. Though their relationship was complicated, Kevin's farewell was filled with gratitude and love. "You fought for a long time. The hardest stretch being these past 6 months," he shared, "the most painful to witness being these last few weeks." Stan's passing leaves a gap in both basketball history and a family story that's touched millions. From college arenas to arenas filled with Beach Boys fans, his presence was felt across generations and genres. For those who knew him, or simply knew of him, Stan Love represented a kind of strength shaped by experience, ambition, and undeniable heart. Tributes to Stan Love. Number 3. When Wizz plays, you feel every road he ever traveled. Those words came from a longtime fan, but they speak for a generation of musicians touched by his tone, timing, and tireless spirit. Wizz Jones passed away peacefully at the age of 86, just 2 days after celebrating his birthday. His final days were spent in a hospice, surrounded by love. Known for his warm presence and deep musicality, Wizz shaped the British folk scene more than many realize. He was a wanderer at heart, busking through Europe, playing street corners with a young Rod Stewart, and carrying his guitar through cafes and clubs from Paris to Casablanca. Back home, he helped build the bedrock of the UK folk revival. Alongside artists like Bert Jansch and John Renbourn, Wizz carved out a path that would inspire songwriters and guitarists for generations. Bert Jansch once called him the most underrated guitarist ever. That quiet brilliance became Wizz's trademark. From skiffle beginnings with the Wranglers to soulful collaborations with his son Simeon, his music remained grounded, heartfelt, and true. His songs, like When I Leave Berlin, One Grain of Sand, and Buckets of Rain, carry the dust of the road and the clarity of a clear morning. They still echo in today's folk circuits, often played by those who never knew him personally, but felt his influence all the same. Despite his modest fame, Wizz touched many lives. He didn't chase stardom. He cultivated stories, friendships, and melodies that stood the test of time. At home, he was Sandy's husband, a father of 4, and grandfather to many. On stage, he was a gentle force who kept playing well into his 80s, right up to his final show at London's Ivy House. "He's left a huge hole in our family," said his son Simeon, "and he's robbed the music world of one of its precious treasures." Wizz's legacy isn't just in the records. It lives on in the way a guitar is picked, a verse is sung, and a folk tune is passed down. Modest and lyrical, his voice still resonates. Tributes to Wizz Jones. Number 2, his life was a testament to Jewish resilience. These words, spoken by the Memorial Foundation for the Murdered Jews of Europe, capture the essence of Walter Frankenstein, a man whose courage and conviction guided him through one of history's darkest chapters and far beyond. Walter survived the Holocaust not just by chance, but through determination, ingenuity, and hope. He and his wife Leonie brought 2 sons into the world amid the shadows of Nazi Berlin, hiding in bombed-out buildings and relying on trusted friends, all while never giving up. After the war, he reunited with his family in Palestine, fought in Israel's War of Independence, and started again from nothing. Years later in Sweden, he reinvented himself, studying well into adulthood to become an engineer, a testament to his thirst for knowledge and growth. But it was in retirement where Walter found his calling. He became a powerful voice for Holocaust remembrance. In classrooms, museums, and memorial halls, he shared his story, not for recognition, but so the next generation would never forget. His voice was calm but unwavering, filled not with bitterness, but with a deep sense of responsibility. He turned personal trauma into collective guidance. In 2014, Germany honored him with the Order of Merit. His letters, photos, and journals live on in the Jewish Museum Berlin. They speak not just of loss, but of life, of rebuilding, remembering, and reaching out. Walter was more than a survivor. He was an educator, a father, a fighter, and a friend to many. Whether standing among students or cheering for Hertha BSC, the football club that named him an honorary member, he carried the past with grace and the future with optimism. He passed away peacefully in Stockholm at the age of 100, a quiet end to a life lived loudly in the service of truth and remembrance. Today his legacy shines across Germany, Sweden, Israel, and far beyond. He lived through so much, a family friend said, but what came through most was his love. For life, for his family, for justice. Walter Frankenstein is survived by his sons Peter, Yuri, and Michael and their families. His story continues every time his words are heard, his documents studied, and hearts are moved to speak out against hatred. Tributes to Walter Frankenstein. What's trending on the internet? News 1. The social media community is mourning the loss of influencer Misha Agrawal, who passed away at the age of 24, just 2 days before what would have been her 25th birthday. Her family shared the heartbreaking news on April 26 through a statement posted to her Instagram account, which has left her more than 350,000 followers in shock. Misha, known for her relatable humor and authentic content, had built a strong following through her vibrant personality and engaging videos. She was also an entrepreneur who founded Mish Cosmetics, where she sold hair care oil products that were beloved by her customers. It is with a heavy heart that we share the heartbreaking news of Misha Agrawal's passing, the family's statement read. They went on to thank her followers for the love and support shown to Misha throughout her career. Her cosmetics brand also shared a touching message, noting that they would continue honoring her legacy by processing and delivering orders. She built Mish Cosmetics with love, passion, and a dream to make a difference, the company stated. As tributes pour in across social media platforms, many fans have expressed their disbelief at the sudden loss, especially given how close it came to her birthday. While the cause of her passing has not been disclosed, what remains clear is the positive impact she had on her community. Misha Agrawal will be remembered for the joy she brought to her followers, her entrepreneurial spirit, and the authentic connection she fostered with her audience throughout her creative journey. News 2. The final autopsy results for legendary actor Gene Hackman have been released, providing insights into the health conditions the beloved 95-year-old star faced before his passing earlier this year. Gene and his wife of over 3 decades, Betsy Arakawa, were found deceased in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home on February 26, 2025. Medical examiners determined that Hackman, who had won 2 Academy Awards during his illustrious 4-decade career, suffered from severe atherosclerotic and hypertensive cardiovascular disease. The report revealed he had previously undergone significant heart procedures, including coronary artery stent placements, a bypass graft, and an aortic valve replacement. Sadly, the autopsy also confirmed that Gene had been battling advanced-stage Alzheimer's disease. His wife Betsy, who was 65, passed away from hantavirus pulmonary syndrome approximately 2 weeks before Gene, according to the reports. Environmental assessments later found evidence of rodents on their property, which likely contributed to the rare but serious viral infection. Hackman's remarkable cinematic legacy includes unforgettable performances in films like The French Connection, Unforgiven, the Superman series as villain Lex Luthor, Hoosiers, and The Royal Tenenbaums. His versatility allowed him to excel in both dramatic and comedic roles throughout his stellar career. Though the news brings a somber conclusion to the story of his passing, fans worldwide continue to celebrate Gene Hackman's extraordinary talent and the incredible body of work he leaves behind. Performances that will continue to inspire actors and entertain audiences for generations to come. News 3. As we celebrate a lifetime of public service, Representative Jerry Connolly of Virginia is stepping back from his leadership roles in Congress. At 75, Connolly has been a dedicated voice for his constituents, first elected to Congress in 2009, and serving 9 terms representing Virginia's 11th district. Recently, he announced that his esophageal cancer has returned, prompting his decision not to seek re-election and to step down as the ranking Democrat on the House Oversight Committee. Connolly's career has been marked by unwavering dedication to the people of Northern Virginia and a strong advocacy for federal workers. Before his time in Congress, he served for 14 years on the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, reflecting his deep roots in local politics. Despite his current health challenges, Connolly remains committed to his constituents and is proud of the accomplishments achieved over 3 decades. As Senator Mark Warner noted, Connolly embodies the finest qualities of public service, with intelligence, principle, and dedication. His legacy will be remembered not only for his contributions to governance, but also for his resilience and determination. Representative Jerry Connolly's dedication to public service will continue to inspire future generations, leaving a lasting impact on the communities he has served so tirelessly. Number 1. Art brings people closer together. That was Zurab Seratelli's guiding belief, and the heartbeat of his life's work. A towering figure in public art, Seratelli transformed cities, sparked debate, and inspired generations. His legacy lives across continents, on Moscow's skyline, Bayonne's waterfront, and in quiet courtyards in Tbilisi. Few artists reimagined space the way he did. Seratelli passed away peacefully at the age of 91. His long and remarkable life left a lasting imprint on cultures around the globe. He rose to fame through bold, large-scale sculptures that rewrote the language of urban art. His 94-meter tribute to Peter the Great still looms over the Moscow River, one of many spots now inseparable from his vision. After the fall of the Soviet Union, he reimagined Moscow's historic identity, helping rebuild the Cathedral of Christ the Savior and shaping key memorials across the capital. But his journey began humbly, sketching scientific illustrations in Georgia. A defining moment came in Paris, when he met Pablo Picasso. That brief meeting changed the direction of his creative soul. From then on, his work pushed boundaries, mixing sculpture, mosaic, and color in ways few dared attempt. He became Russia's chief artist for the 1980 Olympics. Later, he served as president of the Russian Academy of Arts for more than 2 decades, mentoring countless young talents and supporting art on every scale. Seratelli's grand vision wasn't always met with agreement, but even his critics acknowledged the boldness and sheer scale of his ambition. International projects brought his work to the United States, Europe, and Asia. From the poignant monument in New Jersey honoring victims of global terrorism to whimsical sculptures in France, his range was extraordinary. He suffered a brief illness before his passing, surrounded by loved ones. He is survived by his daughter Elena and 3 grandchildren, each continuing his passion for art in their own way. Renowned artist and longtime colleague Nika Safronov said, "Zurab had something few artists ever find, the power to move nations through monuments." His works still speak for remembrance, resilience, and human connection. Tributes to Zurab Seratelli. A knowing smile, a deep compassion, and a spirit that lit every room, Damian Thomas lived a life full of grace, kindness, and an unwavering love for storytelling.